Everything's been going really well. We're very excited about where the team's at. They've been training really hard. Our conditioning has been the hardest we've ever done, and they've been responding. Nice thing for us is the weather's turned here, and we're getting outside, and pretty excited actually to get ready to go out next weekend. So we're going to compete a little this weekend in some scrimmages, and overall it's been going extremely well.
You mentioned conditioning. Some of the other girls on the team have said defense has really improved. Are those two things you've been focusing on here in spring practice, or what kind of you think the strength will be coming up this year?
Well, I think definitely the conditioning is something we've been focused on, and Laura Berg has definitely brought in a very competitive, very intense mentality with that, obviously having trained for 4 Olympics, and that's been really something that's going to make a big difference for us. Not necessarily just their fitness, but their ability to compete, their ability to fight, their ability to deal with adversity is going to be really, I think, can be benefited from that. Overall, I think we're better defensively, we're better offensively. I think we're definitely better in the pitching circle. But defensively, we've seen some really great strides, which has been positive. I would say equally, I've seen some amazing things happen on the offensive side with what Jeff Hira has been doing with our hitters.
I know you're extremely proud of the blue-collar work ethic that kind of characterizes Oregon State softball. How have you mentioned Laura and Jeff? How have they kind of helped you coming in? Change is always difficult. How have they integrated themselves?
Yeah, I mean they're both very amazing, both being great credentials, and most importantly for me, they bring that blue-collar mentality that they both are about working hard. That's how they were as athletes themselves. That's how they've always been. Where they've been coaching has been about working hard, and no one's going to work harder. So that's been a great fit. You never know exactly how things will fall into place, but I couldn't be happier with the hire of both of those individuals and what they're bringing every day for our athletes.
Not knowing how everything's going to fall into place, do you have kind of a basic sense? Let's start with the infield, how kind of the infield defensively will set up? We definitely going to see some things that are a little different than last year. We return almost our entire infield from last year for the most part, and I think that being said, I think it's going to look a little different. We've got a lot more depth and a lot more flexibility. I think definitely I could say that I think middle infield is going to look very different. And beyond that, I think time will tell. But I think Liz Santana and Kiara Garcia have definitely made a huge impact and are definitely pushing starters that were in the last years for their position. Those are two of the newcomers on the team. You also have Danny Gilmore, who's been having a great spring, and maybe center field for her. How does the outfield shape up?
Yeah, center field is always where you want to base everything from, and obviously Danny Gilmore is an absolute exceptional athlete, and she struggled a little in the fall with kind of her getting comfortable with her leadership and her role out there, but what we have seen in the last, I'd say the last month has been really exciting. Physically, just so talented. So we definitely see her keying down our outfield as long as she's staying healthy. There in center field, and expect great things out of her there.
And kind of the battery, how do you see that shaping up? Tina has 1 year of Pac-12 play under her belt, and Allie, you had said, is doing a fantastic job behind the plate.
Yeah, the nice thing for us with that combo, returning actually our entire pitching staff has been great, but the combo with Allie and Tina has been really exciting to see. In the fall, we definitely saw that. Allie has definitely put herself in a position where she's now training and competing and going into every day as a leader behind the plate. And I think last year she was a position player moving into a catching position, being asked to do that, and she didn't even quite own it in the same way. So I think that's been really positive to see. Danny Gilmore has also been working behind the plate and can, but probably if we're playing well and everyone's staying healthy, we're probably going to be at our best with both of them right up the middle. And Tina, she's such a competitor. She just, it's not necessarily all physical. It's definitely in her heart. It's definitely in her head. That blue-collar grit in the circle is really inspiring to watch. And it's going to bring a lot out in her teammates. So the fact that she's played a lot of those games in the fall, that she had that great season last year without having a lot of wins, but had a lot of great performances, I think that's going to translate to a lot more wins this year.
You start the season next Thursday in Tempe, 5 games, 3 against ranked teams, another difficult start to the season schedule-wise, and another tough schedule all around. What are you looking for from your team this upcoming weekend?
What we're really asking for them is to go in and compete one game at a time, one pitch at a time, and just to bring what they're doing every day and do what they do. And we're just going to have to let the wins and losses and successes or failures happen. And so really what I'm expecting out of them is that they are going to compete every inning, every pitch, like it's against number 1 in the country. And if we can do that, we're going to be in good shape. That's hard to do. It's challenging to do with the adversity that's going to come at them, and that's the second thing that we're asking of them is to plan on how they're going to handle adversity, how they're going to handle their struggles when it's not perfect and it's not easy, because that's going to be key to our success is dealing with that adversity.
And last question, Pac-12 obviously it's going to be extremely tough yet again, as it is year in and year out, and also this year the addition of Utah onto the conference schedule. Talk a little bit about what you expect in the conference portion of the season, the second half.
Yeah, I don't know that it's going to look a lot or feel a lot different than it has in the years past, and that you can take that as good or bad. I mean, obviously that's how good our conference is I don't see anything changing. Obviously, right now Arizona State's at the top of the heap in the country, and they returned a freshman pitcher last year that took them all the way to the College World Series National Championship. So. I think who's at top might be a little different at any given time, but, you've got nothing but just exceptional talent, exceptional coaches, and competitive teams right on through the conference. The difference in adding in Utah, the impact of that, a lot of it's unknown. Traveling to Utah, playing in Utah, I had to add in a midweek series. So this year for us, we're playing Arizona State in a midweek series. Thankfully for us, it's here at home. But one of those games is a doubleheader. So we haven't played doubleheaders in the Pac-10 in a while. So that's going to be a little different this year. And I think we're up for the challenge and excited for that opportunity. And, we look forward to it.
That schedule also provides great opportunity, like you just said. Season-ending goals is the tournament. You think a realistic possibility for this team?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this team has definitely has the talent, but more importantly has the focus and the desire and the work ethic to be a postseason team. Having the fortune to coach postseason teams in the past, there's something different about those teams, and I certainly feel like that's what's coming out in them right now. So there's a lot ahead of us. There's 56 games and a lot of hard travel and a lot of hard dealing with adversity. So that will be time will tell. But I'm certainly very optimistic and realistic to think that this team could put us back where we want to be, which is, hopefully a team that's ranked in the top 20 and hopefully a team that's vying for that national championship by being in the postseason.